Extraordinary Summit.
Let me use this opportunity to salute the courage of the Supreme Court for taking and placing premium in this matter.
Supreme Court reserves judgment on 2022 Electoral Act.
I urge all of you to avoid politics of division and disunity.
2023 elections, more candidates emerge from party primaries.
By the grace of God, people around will see changes.
Also tonight, female police officers gear up for crowd control during elections. Hello and thanks for joining us on NT Network News. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Hingino John Adams joins us from Lagos, while Agatha Egwai Ojo is in Benin. Welcome. Don't forget you can follow us live on our website nt.ng/live as well as other social media platforms displayed on the screen. President Muhammadu Buhari is in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, ahead of the African Union Extraordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government on Security. State House correspondent Adamawa reports that the summit is expected to last 3 days.
Accompanied by the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, President Muhammadu Buhari arrived Malabo International Airport at 5 o'clock Thursday evening local time. On hand to accord him a befitting welcome was a high-powered Equatorial Guinea government delegation led by Prime Minister Francisco Pascual Obama Asue. Also at the airport were Nigeria's ambassador to that country, Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Defense, the National Security Advisor, Director General, National Intelligence Agency, Chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, and other senior government officials. At the summit, President Buhari will join other African leaders to look at the spiraling effects of terrorism and the unconstitutional changes of government on human rights and economies, as well as take a united position on new approaches towards stemming the tide.
It's an epidemic now that has afflicted particularly our sub-region, West Africa. Again, under the strong leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari and his colleagues in the sub-region, were able to strongly condemn those unconstitutional changes, insist on return of democracy, in some cases imposed very harsh sanctions on errant regimes. So what is the rest of Africa doing? We like to see them also mobilizing the willpower, to do what we are doing, so that we will end, the return of coups on the continent. We're looking at the situation of insecurity, terrorism, and cross-border, crimes. We have a model in our own sub-region. We have the set up the multinational joint task force, engaging 5-6 of our countries, dealing with the situation. There's also on the far end of the West African, sub-region, the G5, Sahel countries that are coming together. Concern for Nigeria is, why don't we have an African model? There have been proposals for a long time for a standing force that can intervene, for all of us in Africa in emergency, crisis situations. It is still on paper. It has to be activated.
President Muhammadu Buhari is also expected to hold sideline meetings with some leaders during the summit, so also the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, in her capacity as the President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission. From Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Now, a bit from the court. The Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the suit filed by President Muhammadu Buhari and the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice to void the provisions of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act. Daily Atumbe reports that the National Assembly, the Rivers State Government, and the Nigerian Bar Association are joined as defendants in the suit.
Before delving into the substantive matter, the 7-man panel of justices led by Justice Muhammad Musa Datijo sorted out all the applications on parties to the suit. The first was that of the application for joinder as a party in the suit by the All Progressive Grand Alliance, an application that was withdrawn and struck out by the Apex Court. The second application was that of the Nigerian Bar Association, which originally wanted to be joined as a party, but ended up being granted the space of an amicus curiae, being the friend of the court in the matter. In its adoption, counsel to the plaintiffs Lateef Fagbemi SAN urged the court to grant the prayers of the plaintiffs by declaring the section unconstitutional. Lateef Fagbemi SAN argued that by Section 84, subsection 3 of the Electoral Act 2022, the National Assembly affirmed that political parties should not give any qualification or disqualification that is inconsistent with the Constitution, pointing out that Section 84, subsection 12 disenfranchised political appointees from being delegates or being voted for at a political party convention. The first defendant, which is the National Assembly, through its counsel Kayode Ajulo, the Rivers State Government and the Rivers State House of Assembly, through their counsel Emmanuel Ukala SAN, raised preliminary objections to the suit being brought before the Supreme Court as the court of first instance. Both counsel urged the court to strike out the matter as an abuse of court process. Counsel to the Nigerian Bar Association, Charles Mekuye SAN, as an amicus curiae in his submission, told the court that Section 84, subsection 12 is not in conflict with the Constitution. He argued that the section in question has come to cure a mischief which the Constitution did not envisage.
The declaration that the president is seeking is not for his own personal interest. It's not contesting any election. So, and also, it is also for the future. It's both for the present and for the future.
Let me use this opportunity to salute the courage of the Supreme Court for taking and placing premium in this matter. This is a matter that started about a week or 2 weeks ago. You can see the dedication to duty.
The appeal has been argued. Yeah. And the court has adjourned to such a time that they will notify us.
What we have done today is that in the discussion of this matter that affects Nigerians, at least the Nigerian view should be heard.
After the deliberation of all the counsel of parties in the matter, the court reserved judgment on the suit in Abuja. Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Still on the courts and elections, a federal high court sitting in Abuja has barred the Independent National Electoral Commission from recognizing or accepting ad hoc delegates produced by a faction of the People's Democratic Party in Edo State, led by supporters of Governor Godwin Obaseki. The court declared the ad hoc delegates produced by the Dan Obi faction of the party as authentic and must be recognized and accepted. Delivering judgment in a suit instituted by 581 delegates elected on April 30, Justice Iyan Ekwo held that PDP and other defendants in the suit are bound by Section 84, subsection 5 of the Electoral Act 2022, as well as Section 15 of the PDP Constitution relating to delegates' elections. The plaintiffs in the suit, argued by John Musa SN, had asked the court to determine whether PDP, in view of Section 84, subsection 5 of the Electoral Act 2022 and Section 15 of the People's Democratic Party's Constitution, can jettison their election monitored by INEC and other one, conducted in violation of the provisions of relevant laws. Justice Ekwo, after scrutinizing the documentary evidence, including the report of INEC on its monitoring of the April 30 delegate selection, argued with the plaintiffs that they were validly and legally elected as authentic ad hoc delegates for Edo State chapter of the PDP. The court held that the role of INEC in primary election, Congress and convention monitoring is statutory and constitutional and must therefore be strictly adhered to by all political parties. Justice Ekwo therefore issued an order of injunction against the first to fourth defendants, restraining them from tampering with the plaintiffs' list, having been duly elected in the Congress of the party held on April 30. The court also issued order of perpetual injunctions against the first to fourth defendants, stopping them from conducting any other Congress with the purpose of replacing the plaintiffs. Justice Eko also issued a mandatory order of injunction against INEC, stopping it from recognizing or accepting any delegates list other than the one produced by PDP's Congress of April 30, where plaintiffs emerged as ad hoc delegates. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Adamawa State Police Command has trained 16 female police officers on technicalities of crowd control and other security challenges in society. Cynthia Benjamin Ayara reports.
2023 general elections is another opportunity for Nigerians to vote for credible leaders across various levels of government that will add value to the welfare and well-being of people in the country. In this regard, crowd control is one of the security challenges that has continued to be a source of concern to hitch free conduct of the elections. This informed the training of 16 female police officers into the Women Combat Force of the Nigerian Police and were exposed to drills, morning joggings, introduction to obstacle crossing, among others, to adequately equip them with the required techniques of crowd control and general security.
A lot of development by the grace of God. People around will see changes. I'm very happy with this training.
The Commissioner of Police, Adamawa State Command, Sikiru Akande, represented by Deputy Commissioner of Police, Ajani Musubao, says the command will continue to bring new techniques that will mitigate crime and criminality in the state.
We have been training them, we are still restraining them to remind them of what they have learned and to ensure that they are fitted to the contemporary policing.
In Yola, Cynthia Benjamin Ayara, NTA News.
In other news, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Musa Bello, has ordered the reopening of Day-Day Market from Friday, May 27, 2022. This is one of the decisions reached after a stakeholders' engagement with leaders of the various markets and traditional leaders of the community. Onoze Yakubu reports.
The closure of Day-Day Market was sequel to the crisis that occurred last week in the community. After extensive engagement with the relevant stakeholders, who include leaders of the 5 major markets in the community, security agencies as well as community leaders, the FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello directed that the Day-Day Market be reopened for business. He said a committee has been set up with a time frame of 4 weeks to submit its report.
So the markets within the communities will be more organized now under very strict supervision by the relevant authorities of the FCT. The meeting also clearly agreed that many of the developments there are totally against the Abuja master plan. The FCT administration has approved that the markets in the entire area should be open with effect from tomorrow, Friday, 27th May 2022.
We should be our brothers' keepers, and we should be able to live in peace together.
Urging all the peoples of the Day-Day market to live in peace and embrace each other.
Meanwhile, the Serkinjua has been mandated to meet with the leaders of the market ahead of the reopening. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has applauded the massive expansion and improved production capacity of cement production in the country. The minister gave the commendation during a media tour to Buharis cement plant in Sokoto. Anthony Forson reports.
Buharis Cement PLC, a publicly listed firm that is into the production and marketing of cement in Nigeria, formed through the consolidation of cement interests of Buharis Group. The minister was taken on a guided tour of the Sokoto plant by the managing director, Yusuf Binji. He told the minister that the 3 million ton per annum line 4 of the plant, which was commissioned in January by President Muhammadu Buhari, has taken the combined installed capacity of the factory's line 2, 3, and 4 to 5 million tons per annum. Accompanied by about 30 journalists drawn from the print, electronic, and online platforms, Lai Mohammed was taken to the plant's master control room, where the entire procedure is monitored and controlled real-time. In his remarks after the inspection, Lai Mohammed commended the chairman of Bua Cement, Abdul Samad Rabiu, for his undying belief in Nigeria.
There's no better indication of Bua's support for the government's economic diversification and job creation agenda than the company's massive investment in Nigeria.
Most heartwarming, the minister noted, is how Bua has successfully completed 4 new plants of similar capacity in different parts of the country and is set to complete 2 more soon, which is expected to increase production to 11 million tons per annum by 2023.
All these projects are beneficiaries of the conducive business environment created by the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari under the auspices of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, (PEBEC), which has implemented over 150 reforms since 2016, as well as the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, Nigeria's most significant business legislation in 3 decades.
The Sokoto plant is the first in Nigeria to use liquefied natural gas to generate power, replacing coal. The managing director in his presentation explained that the plant currently operates at over 90% of its installed capacity and loads between 250 and 270 trucks daily.
We have now also started the building of more production lines. We have another line that is going to be completed by next year, inshallah, and that has a capacity of 3 million tons. That will bring the capacity of the Sokoto plant to 8 million tons by middle of next year. And another line is also undergoing construction in Edo that will take up their capacity to 9 million tons. So by 2023, Bua Cement will have a total installed capacity of 70 million tons per annum.
Bua Cement is committed to quality driven by innovation and technology. It is equally positioned to solving Nigeria's cement undercapacity while driving economic growth. In Sokoto, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
You're watching the network news on NTA. Time to take a first break. The news continues shortly. Thanks for staying with the NTA. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigerians should be prepared for a new Nigeria where everyone will achieve his or her desire. The Vice President stated this in Lagos, where he rounded off his interactions with APC delegates after touring the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. State House correspondent Judy Unifade reports.
The consultation with stakeholders, which started since 11th of April this year, when the Vice President formally declares intention to contest in the 2023 presidential election, ends with this interaction with the All Progressives Congress family in Lagos. And this electrifying moment signifies how Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is being received by the people. The elated Vice President says his coming is not to seek for votes, as he is sure of their support in the coming APC national primary election, but to celebrate with them ahead the beginning of a new life for all the people of the country and the party.
If we are prepared to back what we are saying with the votes, we will begin on Sunday with the primaries. And I know that we will have massive support from all of our delegates. I'm convinced about that because everybody wants a new Nigeria. We want a Nigeria that is secure. We want a Nigeria where there will be enough employment for our young people. We want a Nigeria that has a secure economy. We want a Nigeria where young men and women will have ambitions and fulfill their ambitions here in this country. And I'm sure that we can achieve that.
The Vice President ends his address with a prophetic song people are now familiar with, which is a prayer request for the completion of the great work God started in his life and the lives of all Nigerians.
He is a man of God, a gentleman to the top.
Vice President Osinbajo also visits the Oba of Lagos, Rilwan Akiolu, for a royal blessing. In Lagos, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
In the meantime, party primaries are throwing up more winners across platforms and states. Earlier today, more governorship candidates emerged on the platform of the All Progressives Congress following the successful conclusion of primaries in the affected states. Here is a compilation of some of the winners. Now, of the All Progressives Congress, Chief Ikechi Emenike has been elected the standard bearer of the party for the 2023 Abia State governorship election.
Mission is very simple and simple. First, to rescue Abuja and get in the blood distance. I can assure you, May 29th, 2023, we will have a bigger celebration.
Governor Muhammadu Inuwa of Gombe State has been elected the standard bearer for the 2023 Gombe State governorship election.
The people of Gombe State are really very supportive and are ready to go with us.
Meanwhile, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is the candidate for the Lagos State governorship election. Zamfara State Governor Bello Mohammed emerged unopposed as the APC candidate for the 2023 gubernatorial election in the state. In Enugu, Chief Uchenna Naji emerged the consensus governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress with a total of 1,070 votes. And conversely, from the People's Democratic Party, we hear that winners are emerging from successful primaries, though there are contending factions in some states also announcing their own winners in parallel congresses. Gawa State, Mustafa Sule Lamido emerged the party's governorship standard bearer.
I urge all of you to avoid politics of division and disunity. The interest of our dear state is far and above any personal or sectional interests.
Meanwhile, the former chairman of Mango Local Government Council, Jos Caleb Muftwang, won the governorship ticket of the party. He polled 252 votes to clinch the ticket. In Delta, Tessie Coker reports that Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Sheriff Oborewuri, polled 590 votes to defeat his closest rival, David Edebie. In the same vein, Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly, Titus Uba, is the candidate to fly the PDP governorship flag in the forthcoming general elections.
The responsibility for our party is for us to put us together and move this place forward.
Moving away from politics now, we can confirm that 30 families within the Federal Capital Territory will each receive 25,000 naira as grant from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development to mark this year's International Day of Families. Ruth Aguele reports.
As an important unit of society, has a primary responsibility to see to the development and well-being of its members. Taking the lead in promoting family values, strengthening bonds, and empowering families in distress, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development commemorates the International Day of Families to raise awareness on the importance of sustainable and family-friendly policies.
The observance of the day calls for all hands to be on deck to ensure that families are protected. Happy families means happy society.
The National Assembly, the House of Representatives, and the committee will continue to strengthen the synergy and support policies and programs as it addresses poverty and family values.
In a message, the Minister, Sadia Umar Farouk, urged members of society to work together to build stronger families.
Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management and Social Development initiated the various programs and activities towards lifting the living standard and well-being of the families. In the same way, people with disabilities form part of our families and communities, and they have the right to be had.
30 families from the Federal Capital Territory received grant of 25,000 naira each.
Yes, so happy because I did not even expect this kind of occasion.
A healthy nation is no doubt a product of healthy families because charity, they say, begins at home. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NT News.
And it's time to head to the mega city, Lagos, where Hingino is standing by with some reports for us. Hello, Hingino.
Hello, Lizzie. In line with the sustainability target and its quest to encourage and make teaching profession more interesting, the nation's largest brewing company, Nigerian Breweries PLC, has inaugurated a registration portal for the 2022 Maltina Teacher of the Year competition. The site is open to all interested and qualified teachers across the country from the 26th of May 2022. The legal director and company secretary of Nigerian Breweries PLC disclosed this at the flag-off ceremony in Lagos. Diana Ajali has details.
The Maltina Teacher of the Year Award is among crucial and important humanitarian programs initiated by the largest and high-quality brewing company, Nigerian Breweries PLC. It is aimed at recognizing and celebrating exceptional teachers across the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. The laudable initiative is not only transforming the lives of teachers, but imparting on academic performance of students. For the Nigerian Breweries PLC, encouraging teachers through such a laudable initiative will go a long way in promoting quality education in Nigeria.
This is the 8th year that we are doing this program. It's an opportunity for teachers out there, every teacher out there, to be part of the award ceremony. It is an opportunity for you to showcase your ability, your quality as a teacher.
And this year we are taking it a step further. We are actually allowing physical submissions. So we are liaising with the NUT to drive these submissions in different regions in Nigeria.
Chairman, Nigeria Union of Teachers, Lagos State, Akintoye Hassan, commended the Nigerian Breweries PLC for the gesture.
A sound mind will definitely know the importance of peace in relation to society.
The overall winner of the Maltina Teacher of the Year Award is expected to go home with a total of 6.5 million naira and a trophy. 1 million naira will be given instantly, while the remaining will be spread over a period of 5 years with 1 million naira annually. That is not all. The second and third winners will also walk away with amazing cash prizes. So far, 181 teachers from across the country have benefited from the Nigerian Breweries PLC Maltina Teacher of the Year Award. Entries for this year Maltina Teacher of the Year Award closed the 22nd of July 2022. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
One of Nigeria's leading betting company, 1xBet, has signed a 1-year sponsorship deal with Aqua United Football Club. Kende at DBC witnessed the event and now reports.
The game of football is said to be a unifying factor for Nigerians. The support from fans and some corporate organizations has played a great role in the growth of the Nigerian Professional Football League, spurring the teams to be at par with other international clubs. Aqua United Football Club, the winner of the 2021 Nigeria Professional Football League, is today receiving one of such support from 1xBet.
We see them as a green club, as a club that is steady, and a club that has a great potential in Nigeria. And that's the reason why we are picking them as our partner, because we only deal with the best in the entire world.
Managing Director CEO 1xBet Femi Babalola also reiterates the company's aim at using football to empower more Nigerian youth, saying it will go a long way in reducing unemployment rate in the country. Then came the ultimate moment when two companies sealed the deal.
The best football company in Nigeria at the moment, United. Are you clapping for 1xBet and Aqua United.
For Aqua United Football Club, this partnership means the players at work. It's beginning to pay off. Elated by this, chairman of the football club, Paul Bassi, noted that a sponsorship will open more doors for the team.
For us, is motivation, and like I said during my short speech, we'll have to try as much as possible to make sure that one aspect does not regret the sponsorship.
Very big endorsement for the club, and at the same time, I wish this will not just stop at Aqua United, but to get to other NPFL clubs as well.
1xBet has its operations in over 100 companies of the world and still expanding. In Lagos, Kende Adebisi, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time now for another break. The news will be back shortly.
Thanks for staying with us. Now it's time to talk business, and Benny Adams will give us the updates. So, Benny, what's trending?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Much is trending. Welcome to business. The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, is adopting fund matching as strategy to providing access to credits for MSMEs. To this end, SMEDAN is partnering with some financial institutions towards providing funds at concessional rates over longer-term tenure, aimed at promoting wealth creation.
Over 10,000 women and have been supported with micro financing on a profit-bearing and loss-sharing model.
This particular partnership goes more than access to finance. In the initial instance, one of the things that we are going to have to do on the path to the SME growth.
This covered the 8 states of Katsina, Kogi, Adamawa, and Bauchi. That's phase 1, as well as Jigawa, Nasarawa, Niger, and Gombe, phase 2. We are delivering in the aforementioned states with Jaiz Bank PLC. Later this year, we expect to extend coverage to the 7 states of Lagos, Ondo, Osun, Anambra, Enugu, Delta, and Cross River in partnership with Sterling Bank PLC. Program implementation shall continue until a complete coverage nationwide is achieved.
And on the capital markets, investors gained 302 billion naira as the Nigerian equities market advanced by 1.06%, defying expectations of sell-off following a recent monetary policy rate hike to 13%. Market closed at 53,151.32 basis points, with market capitalization advancing to 28.654 trillion naira. 266.1 million shares valued at 5.1 billion naira exchanged hands in 5,501 deals. Transnational Corporation, Access Corporation, and Guarantee Trust Holding Company led the activity chart. That is business news. Elizabeth, it's nice doing business with you.
Thank you so much, Benny. The Federation Accounts Allocation Committee has shared a total of 636.602 billion naira among the 3 tiers of government for the month of April 2022. This was contained in a communique issued at the end of the virtual meeting of the Federation Account Allocation Committee for May 2022. A statement by Director Information Press and Public Relations, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, showed that the total distributable revenue comprised statutory revenue of 461.189 billion naira, value-added tax revenue of 166.522 billion naira, the sum of 8.891 billion naira being excess bank charges recovered, and augmentation of 20 billion naira. According to the communique, petroleum profit tax and excise duties increased marginally, while oil and gas royalties, import duty, companies' income tax, and value-added tax all recorded significant decreases in the month of April 2022. The balance in the excess crude account, $35.377 million. More than 4,000 defaulting mineral title holders have been identified by the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, and failure to meet up the necessary requirements will lead to revocation of such titles. Director General of the Mining Cadastre Office, Simon Nkom, stated this at a press briefing in Abuja.
We have published over 4,000 mineral title holders that are defaulting. What is the essence? We talk of use it or lose it because we don't want you to collect a license, depriving other investors to come to take advantage of that area, and you put it inside your drawer. For years, people come, you are not using it. So dormant activities, non-payment, such things you can get a revocation for that.
In line with the federal government's policy of ease of doing business, 6 zonal offices of the agency have been created, while applications for mineral titles are now done online.
Must I come to Nigeria to be able to now make inquiry or look at your system? So that is the essence. In collaboration with the World Bank, we've been able to now migrate the system to online, automated, and real-time.
And President Muhammadu Buhari celebrates with young Nigerians on the occasion of this year's Children's Day, pledging that his administration will continue to work hard to ensure that every child has access to education which prepares them for a bright future. The president recognizes the place of education in the development of every country and is committed to seeing a further significant reduction in the number of out-of-school children. He acknowledges that while education of the Nigerian child will remain on the front burner for this government, other issues bordering on healthcare, protection from harm, drugs, cultism, child trafficking and abuse, domestic violence are equally going to be addressed. Let's now go to Benin, where Agatha is standing by. Agatha.
Elizabeth, for joining us in Benin. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says vote buying and voter apathy are two critical challenges that must be tackled to enhance credibility of the June 18 governorship election in Ekiti State. To this end, the Commission has commenced a series of interactions with community leaders to deepen public enlightenment on the election. Tayo Osho reports.
Community leaders from across the 16 local government areas are seated in this hall as the instance of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, an avenue for the electoral umpire to restate the importance of voters' participation in actualizing its resolve to conduct a free, fair and credible gubernatorial election come June 18th. The gathering highlighted the importance of enlightening members of the public to collect their voters' cards and ensure they vote for the candidates of their choice without fear or gratifications, since their vote is their power to create the society of their dreams.
They should come out en masse to vote. And before voting, they have to come out and pick their permanent voters' card.
Election should be violence-free. There should be no vote buying and selling. One man, one vote, and that the vote of every voter will definitely count.
For participants, the message is not only clear and simple, but a call for them to further entrench democratic practices in the country.
So let us vote according to our conscience, and this election should be transparent, fair, and free.
INEC says it will continue to engage stakeholders towards peaceful polls. In Ado-Ekiti, Tayo Osho, NTA News.
Away from election matters, the United States has added its voice to the campaign for return of looted artifacts, even as negotiations are ongoing with the Oba of Benin to ensure that the artifacts and monuments in museums across the USA are returned. Ivio Yahiri reports that representatives of the United States government and the Smithsonian Institution were at the palace of the Oba to discuss further on the matter.
This visit of the American envoy to Nigeria is coming at a time when the monarch already has plans for a world-class museum. The Oba's vision is compatible with the message the American ambassador brought to him.
very valuable and very active by the time the article that trouble to be cited in front of the parliament, not inside the walls of the parliament, but outside the walls of the parliament, where it can be assessing those by all.
The meeting was not restricted to the artifacts. It also dwelt on other strategic issues like killings in Nigeria, diseases, production of vaccines for HIV and COVID-19, as well as its treatment and extension of its coverage to 70% of the country's population.
It also establishes a process for the return of trafficked cultural objects, which will reduce the incentive to loot sites in Nigeria.
The Oba of Benin had a take-home message for the team. He wants the United States legislators to enact laws to adequately address the recurrent issues of racism in their country. In Benin, Ivie Oyahire, NTA News.
That's it here. Elizabeth has more on Network News.
And next is sports.
Newly appointed Super Eagles head coach Jose Pacero has arrived at the team's camp in Dallas, Texas, ahead of the international friendlies against Mexico and Ecuador. The coach came in with 3 assistants. The Eagles will face their counterpart from Mexico on Saturday and will trade tackles with Ecuador 4 days later. In the Nigerian Professional Football League, Kano Pillars moved into the 16th position on the log and moved away from the relegation zone after a long victory against Katsina United during the conclusion of an abandoned league match at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. In grassroots football, 1996 Olympic gold medalist Dosu Joseph has urged talented youth to take advantage of the opportunities provided by registered football academies to realize their dream of playing professional football. He also expressed hope that the national football teams will regain relevance in continental and world ranking.
Anytime you see the U17 or U-under-20, you see them inviting players from academy.
In another development, the National Institute for Sport Lagos continues its reformatory agenda at returning the citadel of sport education to world standard under its new management led by Professor Olawale Morunkola, with emphasis on improving both human and physical resources targeted at producing seasoned coaches and sports administrators.
I'm also looking at ND and HND in sport journalism, sport marketing to meet the current trends.
The institute reaffirmed its commitment to fix the facility. With sports updates, Olumide Gutola, NT News.
And at NT News, thank you so much for your time. Do remember to always take action against rape and rapists. I'm Elizabeth Omori.